Well, now I'm joined by Gary Webster, Head of Partnerships at Key Retirement Solutions. Gary, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you finding the first Financial Services Expo?
It's been excellent so far. We've met some really good people and certainly we're starting to see some potential partnerships emerge, which was obviously the whole reason for being at the event. So for us, new venue, new opportunity, new show, and so far we've not been disappointed.
Absolutely, that's great to hear. And how important is the FSE for a company like yourself?
It's very important to us, Michelle. It's an opportunity for us to showcase what we do. We've got a good story to tell. We already deal with a number of high-profile partners, but we thought this would be a good place to show what we can do. We have partnerships in place whereby we have introducers who refer equity release business to us. We take full advice and responsibility for that business, and in return we have a revenue share. Now the importance on this is that we help introducers to monetize that opportunity without the burden of compliance and the responsibility. So it's an important one for us to get across, and sometimes this is the best environment to do it on a face-to-face basis.
And talking about the industry itself, I mean, where do you see the growth in the retirement sector being over the next 12 months?
I think if I answer this specifically with regards to equity release, we're seeing two drivers in this market at the moment. The first one is interest only in retirement. We're seeing many older clients still with mortgages in their late 60s and early 70s, and many of them are coming towards the end of term. Many of them are finding it very difficult in the first place to afford the mortgages they've already got, and we're having lenders now already starting to enforce some of the new rules in the mortgage market review, which in effect means that they're not allowing them to extend their mortgage. So at the moment, 21% of our business is coming from clients in or near retirement who are having to pay off their existing mortgage by using an equity release plan. So that's one driver. A second driver is that we are still seeing clients, particularly in retirement, who's finding their incomes particularly squeezed. So many of them are on fixed incomes. Many are still seeing the effects of rising inflation. But what that has done with a low interest rate environment has meant that they've also had to hit their savings. So they're seeing squeezed incomes, reduced savings. For some, they've wiped their savings out over the last 5 years. But we still see aspirational pensioners who actually want to enjoy life to the full. So many are using their property, many are using their assets to fund their retirement through using an equity release plan. So at the moment we're seeing 63% of our clients taking what is known as a drawdown mortgage. So they're setting up a cash reserve. So in effect they're creating an income for themselves in retirement, and at the same time also to be able at the outset raise a tax-free cash sum. So in effect we're still seeing, and we've seen this in the last couple of weeks with the two-party conferences, we're still seeing the squeeze middle, and we're still seeing a lot of pensioners being squeezed by the effects of fixed incomes and a very low interest rate environment, but inflation still tending to rise. So all in all, we believe that we'll still continue to see numbers rising. Let's not forget, there is near enough somewhere in the region of 10 million people over 65 in the UK, and we're seeing somewhere in the region of 800,000 people a year turning 65. So the numbers are incredible. So we only see equity release and some of the retirement services around the equity release sector will continue to drive and increase over the coming years.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Gary. Enjoy the rest of the expo.
Thank you very much.